Right after the shooting occurred, we can imagine the chaos that ensued. People running, as well as those that were actively involved with the shooting. Many people ran. What else do we know? We know that we retrieved, after the investigation, 12 casings. We are still conducting as many investigations and conducting the investigation to its fullest right now. What we also know is that night, no one was injured during this incident in the food court, which is miraculous, and we're thankful that no one was injured that night. This was a large response. The community wanted to know what was going on. There was many moving pieces that night for us. These protective sweeps and the sweeps that we conducted inside were our main priority to prioritize life. What we're asking the community tonight is to continue our investigation into those that were involved in those groups that were involved with the shooting. We need the families, the people that were at the mall, young and old. If you were at the mall that night and you had your phone out, you were with your family, you were taking video, you took a selfie, anything, between the hours of 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. We're asking, please, send us that information. This is still very much an active investigation, but anyone's assistance and anyone's help is important. You can contact the Tempe Police Department at 480-350-8311 with that information. And you can also remain anonymous, but we need your help. We have time for a couple questions too, as well.
How many suspects are you looking for?
Well, all we know is that we have 2 large groups who are involved in the food court. As you can imagine, on a Friday night at 7 o'clock, there were many people in that food court area. So this is why we're asking for the community's help, is how many people were involved in those groups and to really dial down our investigation.
Do you have any idea, any cost of any damages that happened? I mean, there was a sign that had a bullet hole through it. Have you guys looked into that at all?
I think as part of an ongoing investigation to determine where those bullet strikes happened, and then working in conjunction with the businesses to determine some of those things, we don't have that number for you right now.
With that being said, you say you need the public's help. Is there a reason why the media hasn't gotten any surveillance video that was taken from inside the mall? Because there was some that we've got photographs from.
Yeah, that's a great question. We do have many businesses that have provided us with their surveillance video. What we're asking for is, in addition, specifically the food court area. That is so helpful because some of the angles that we received from the food court area simply do not show us as closely as we want. So that's why we're asking for additional help.
Could they be released to us so we could help show on our newscast? Could we obtain some of that footage?
Yeah, we'll talk it over with our detectives and see what we can do to help share that as well, to help these members of our community.
Is this something that you think was maybe premeditated? Can we use the term gang activity, anything like that?
That's a great question. And to determine that, at this point, the investigation is still ongoing. What our big ask right now is, once we get this information from the community, this really helps us hone in on our investigation.
We've heard about riot fools. First off, how are they even able to get in with guns? Are clients able to walk through the mall with guns?
So this is an open mall, and individuals, how you can conceal them and what type of guns they had. This is the whole purpose why we're here tonight, is to get those closer pictures. What did people see? What were they looking at? But yes, there are multiple caliber, different type of calibers that we have retrieved from that scene.
Do you know how many people were shooting?
We do not have the exact determination about how many.
There were a lot of rumors going online, and just that at the time, but also being called out. People were saying that there were 2 individuals possibly with long guns. And based on the caliber of weapon, are you able to tell what type of weapon, if in fact it was long gun, AR style rifle?
What I can determine is, at this point, there was 6 .45 caliber rounds and 6 .223 rounds. So, but to determine that they are long rifle or not, that is why we're asking for the community's help.
Is it fair to say both groups had somebody that was shooting, or were these guns from just one group to the other?
Again, to determine, that's why we need the surveillance, to see this was an argument between 2 groups. Why we need to corroborate more is with this video. Were they coming from 2 separate groups? Was it within one group? That's why we're helping. We need the help.
I know you said you need our help, but do you have any potential leads on suspects right now, or where do you stand with that?
Our investigation is still very much ongoing, determining these 2 groups. We have had many community members so far that have helped us, including AZ Mills with the video surveillance inside from the businesses, we are moving forward in our investigation. As more information comes forward, we'll definitely share it.
You know roughly the age of the suspects that you're potentially looking at? Any ideas?
We have a big parameter. It could be young, could be adults, but as far as that's why we're here today.
Have you guys ever dealt with something like this before?
We have had other incidents at AZ Mills. It is a large mall. It has had other incidents before, but this was an opportunity for really us to exercise with multi-jurisdictional response to a situation to ensure the safety of our community. These are difficult. We have multiple malls. We have Tempe Marketplace as well, which is a large open air mall. But responding to AZ Mills, we have worked with them for years. We have done training at AZ Mills, even within our police department, to ensure what that looks like and how we respond there.
I was just there at Arizona Mills this past week, and I didn't see any police activity, even at the entrance, no officer. My question is, following the incident throughout these past days, has any type of security been implemented? Like is Tempe, for example, Tempe PD in the area?
We are working with Arizona Mills to ensure the safety of the mall, especially the weekend time when there's high volumes of people. What we can tell you is that our response may be visible to the public and it may be not as we continue to work through our investigation. Any other questions? Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Should we follow up over email about possibly getting video? If
Yes.
Detectives will release it.
Okay, so you'll send it to the typical email?
If we're going to do it, I'll put it on the media release. If they're going to.
So we don't have to reach out to you, you'll just send it? Okay.
Yeah. We definitely want to give you guys as much as you can.
Waiting. I'm gonna switch over to the second.
You're good.